السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ثم أما بعد. Brothers and sisters, we are all in this day and age hearing many reminders about the number of people that are losing their lives. There are people within our community, outside of our community, who have lost their lives either due to the virus, due to natural causes. There are people that are suffering all different types of oppression. There are people that are being murdered, etc., etc. There's so much going on. And when you look to the news, you see the numbers. You always hear about this many people today shot and killed, or this many people murdered, or this many people, so on and so forth. But how often do these reminders, because we hear them through our ears, they register in our brains, and we think about sometimes through these pieces of information about how many people are losing their lives, we consider a lot about how should we structure our life so that we cannot be one of these statistics. When it comes to the virus, for example, we want to be mindful that we're taking safety precautions so that we don't become one of these statistics. There is something or an area that is known for violence, we want to avoid it because we don't want to become one of these statistics. But how often do these reminders go beyond our ears and our brains and register deep into our hearts because of the reality that is going to face every single one of us? And this is why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told his companions radiallahu anhum ajma'in, أكثروا ذكر هذه اللذات, that make frequent mention of that thing that destroys all pleasure. And this was al-mawtu, death. This is death, that he is reminding his companions, talk about in your circles the time where your life will come to an end. It is something he's acknowledging for us. It's not pleasant to talk about. It's not something that pleases us. Rather, it takes away the smiles off of our faces when we bring up this topic at times. But he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, have a frequent reminder about the time that your life in this world will come to an end, because that will help you focus and that will help you do the things you need to do for the next life that is waiting all of us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he mentions in the Quran, he says, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Every single human being, every single soul, whether it's human or not, will taste death. Every single soul will at some point in their life taste death. وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفَّوْنَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. And it is only when you're resurrected and you're in the akhirah, in the hereafter, that you will be rewarded fully for the things that you used to do. Only in that time will you get the investment that you put in this life, the sacrifices you made for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the next life is where you expect that reward to come. And so Allah Azza wa Jal gave us that reminder. We hear constantly of people passing away, people losing their lives. But again, how often does that register in our hearts? How often does that remind us to plan for the next life, not just adjust certain things in this world so that we can continue to live in this world more safely, but what about safety in the next life? What about that safety, that security that we want for, that investment for that future that undoubtedly is waiting for all of us? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala beautifully tells us that you don't know when that time is going to come. But the way he says this, subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا. He mentions one unknown, one thing that's already unknown to lay the foundation, that nobody knows what they are going to earn tomorrow. You don't know if the financial situation you have today is going to be the same one tomorrow. It could go from good to bad or from bad to good. Anything can happen. The reality is there are so many unknowns in life. And Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ تَمُوتُ, that nobody knows on what piece of land they will die. On what piece of land, not just when, but we don't even know where. We don't know where we will be when our time has come. Inna Allaha alimun khabir. Allah is the one that knows. Allah is the one that is fully aware. And these are times that are written down for every single one of us. And that when that time comes, there is nothing that's going to change it. Again, Allah Azza wa Jalla tells us, وَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجْلُهُمْ لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. When the time comes, no one will be able to delay it, nor can anyone make it happen before its due time. And these are concepts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that give us the confidence we need as people to be bold about our deen, to be bold about our faith. so that no one can threaten us or threaten our lives, because nobody has the ability to take our lives except at the time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written for it to be gone. And when that time comes, nobody can challenge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is something meant, even though it's something that may take the smiles off of our faces, it's something that is meant to embolden us and give us confidence. If we are doing everything right, the best that we can, if we're striving to do the right things and striving to stay away from the wrong, then we know we are on that good path. And whenever that time comes, however that time comes, we're preparing for the next life that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written for all of us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions at least one way in the Quran that I'll share with everyone. One thing you can do to plan your future in the akhirah. One thing you can do to plan your future in the akhirah to help yourself in the next life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, is that you can help other people as well. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tulhikum amwalukum wa la awladukum an dhikrillah. Allah says, oh, you who have faith, never let your wealth nor your children, your offspring, distract you from the dhikr of Allah, the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whether you're dealing with money, whether you're dealing with property, family, the thing that comes first is what is right according to Allah, what is wrong according to Allah, not what is going to be for my benefit or your benefit, not twisting and turning and manipulating the rules and all of this stuff. He says, don't let anything distract you from the remembrance of Allah. وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. Whoever does that, they will lose. Whoever lets these things distract them in this dunya, they will lose. And then he says, subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ. And spend from that which we have provided you, whatever Allah has given you. The first reminder that what you have is not of your own doing. It is the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are people, if you are financially in a good situation, there are people that are doing exactly the same thing you are doing, putting the same effort that you are doing, but their results are different. And if you are in a financially bad situation, then again, there are people doing the same things you are doing, making the same effort that you're making, but their situation is different. And this is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Azza wa Jal has divided these things up however He has willed. But then He tells those that are in a good financial situation, وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ. Spend from what I have given you. مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ يَأْتِيَ أَحَدَكُمُ الْمَوْتِ. Before death comes to any one of you. Before death comes to any one of you. And so Allah is telling you, what can you do to help yourself in the akhirah? What is at least one thing you can do, one action item you have that you from now until the time that your life comes to an end? How am I investing in my akhirah? By spending my wealth on other people. By spending my wealth on other people. مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ يَأْتِيَ أَحَدَكُمُ الْمَوْتِ. Before death comes to any one of you. فَيَقُولَ رَبِّي لَوْلَا أَخَرْتَنِي إِلَى أَجْلٍ قَرِيبٍ. At that point, one of you may say, in a desperate situation, that, oh Allah, if only you give me a little bit more time. If you just gave me a little bit more time, فَأَصَدَّقَ وَأَكُمْ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Then I would give in charity, I would spend, and I could be amongst those who are good. I could be amongst those who are counted as saliheen, as righteous, as good. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says after this, وَلَنْ يُؤَخِّرَ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهَا. That Allah will never, ever give anyone more time when their time has come. He will never give anyone more time when their time has come. وَاللَّهُ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Allah is fully aware of the kind of person you are and the kind of things that you have done and will continue to do, even if given the time. And so Allah Azza wa Jal gives us one way to invest in our akhirah. The wealth that we have, we already give, inshallah, zakah on it every year, 2.5%. Small percentage of your wealth saved from an entire year, a small percentage. But how can we increase this investment? How can we make sure that we are now planning for our akhirah, at least in this one way? What are the avenues that we have? How much do I have? How much money do you actually have? How much wealth and property and services and talents and so many blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do you actually have that you can invest in other people? And the rizq of Allah is not just money. The rizq of Allah may be your intelligence, may be the field that you're in, may be your ability to have influence on people, your ability to change somebody's situation. But spend whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, figure out what it is, and dedicate portions of it for other people. And inshallah, we will be investing in a positive future for our akhirah. The Prophet ﷺ, again, he said, "Akbiru dhikra hadim al-ladhat." Make frequent mention of that which takes away all pleasure, meaning death. So make frequent remembrance of that. So when you hear these numbers, the death toll is this many people died here, this many people died there, let that also sink into your heart so that you understand my time is coming. Just like they didn't know their time was coming, when and how and where, my time is coming. I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know where. Doing right now to prepare for that time? What am I doing right now to prepare for that time? Our greatest, one of our great rulers from the past, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, he said, من أكثر ذكر الموت رضي من الدنيا باليسير. That whoever makes frequent mention of death will be satisfied with little of this dunya. Will be satisfied with smaller portions of this dunya. They won't necessarily chase after it like other people chase after it. And we live in an environment constantly. There are technologies developed just to reach out and figure out what is the kind of thing that you like best so that they can show them to you in any platform that you use. There's so much attraction to things and material things in this dunya that, again, we need to have this reminder to balance out the kind of life that we are living. If you remember death often enough so that your heart is impacted, you will truly be satisfied with the little that you have in this world, and then you will have more to invest in your akhirah by spending on other people. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us in what He has given us, to allow us to give from our wealth and our talents and our skills to others so that we can invest in our akhirah, and that He forgive us for our sins. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. عباد الله، إن الله أمرنا بالصلاة والسلام على النبي فقال: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه والتابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين وعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم اجعلنا مجتمعين على الحق غير متفرقين فيه، واغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولجميع المؤمنين. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. وأقيموا الصلاة. And if we can fill in the spaces that are empty in front of you, if you have some people in the back, they'll have space to fill as well, inshallah.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
One more spot up in this corner here. Any spots that are empty, there are people waiting in the back, inshallah. So if we can move forward, fill up all the mats, it'll give space to our brothers, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. If you see any empty spaces, please fill them up so that our brothers in the back can have space to join us. So, Jazakumullah khair. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله ومن يفعل ذلك فأولئك هم الخاسرون. وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول رب لولا أخرتني
فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين ولن يؤخر الله نفسا جاء أجلها والله خبير بما تعملون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Just a couple of reminders, inshallah. The first one about safety. We have a one-way entrance and exit, so please exit out of the back gate, not out of the front, so all traffic is flowing one way, inshallah. That way everybody is safely leaving the building. And also, as you pick up your prayer rugs, you'll see a little QR sticker on the mats. If you'd like to donate through the website, you can scan that code, it will take you automatically to the website, inshallah, for those of you that aren't getting the sadaqah boxes and in any other way. So this is another way just to facilitate ease of donations to the message, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.